Hello, everybody, and welcome into Austin Rooney's election predictions. I've got 7 videos on hand for you today. 4 will give you an in-depth look at a competitive Senate race, and then the other 3 will be my House map or my House prediction, my Senate map, and my governor's map. So we're going to start with the in-depth look at the Senate races. The first race we're taking a look at, that's Nevada. It's between Dean Heller and Jackie Rosen. We're starting with Real Clear Politics. This initial look says it's a tie and only includes the most recent 3 polls. Let's take a look at some of these slightly older polls. And the first thing I would like to mention here is this Emerson poll. This Emerson poll shows Rosen up by 4. It ended on November 4th. This is a huge contrast to the Emerson poll taken back in early to mid-October that showed Heller up by 4. So by 7, I beg your pardon. So it's an 11-point differential between Rosen today and Heller about a month ago. So what does that mean? No, it does not actually mean there was an 11-point swing. What it likely means is that some of the numbers on the margin of error that were on the outer edge of the margin of error were probably more likely at that time. So again, margin of error 3%, that's plus or minus 3 for each candidate. It shows Heller's 42 to 48. This one had Heller at 48. And this Heller poll right down here, this shows him at 44 to 52. And then the Rosen poll, 46 to 52 because of the plus or minus 3. This shows 37 to 45, 46. So again, theoretically, some of these numbers could line up with the margin of error. Probably not. It probably is an outlier. One of those was out of the margin of error, but still, it is a possibility. And then again, you're seeing more people have answered in the newer poll than in the older poll. You have 49% plus 41%. That's 89% of people have answered. This one shows 94% of people, only 6% left undecided or voting for somebody else. So that's important as well. When you have more people who are now saying, okay, I know which way I'm going to vote, they seem to be tilting in the direction of Jackie Rosen. So that's another important thing to look at. Moving on from RCP, we're going to take a look at the 538 numbers. I'm going to take a look at some of their additional polls. The Harris poll, which was listed back in the RCP average as well, has sort of been all over the place. They have a half-point lead here for Heller. It's given a 3-point or 2.9-point lead to Rosen. So again, it's sort of been all over the place. By and large, though, the numbers haven't been great for Heller. They've generally favored Rosen by a small margin. We take a look at some of the polls. Emerson College poll here. It shows a lead by 4% for Rosen, as we mentioned earlier. The Trafalgar Group, this is a Republican-leaning outlet. It gives a 3.3-point lead for Heller. The CNN poll has Rosen up. The Gravis Marketing poll has Rosen up. So some of the more recent polls, and especially in this adjusted margin, have a lead for Jackie Rosen over Dean Heller. Again, Nate Silver gives a 5-9 chance for Jackie Rosen to win this race, just a 4-9 chance for Dean Heller. The classic forecast, 4-7 chance for Jackie Rosen. And then the deluxe forecast gives a 5-8 chance. Take a look at the forecasted vote share. The 5-8 chance just gives Jackie Rosen a 2-point advantage. The classic gives Jackie Rosen a 0.9% advantage. That is the same advantage that you can see in the light map. So again, 538 has this as a very, very close race, a real toss-up, one that could go in the direction of Dean Heller or Jackie Rosen. Now, moving on to Open Secrets, we're going to take a look at some of the money that's been raised in this race. Last report was on October 17th, about 2.5 weeks ago. What does it show? Well, Jackie Rosen has raised more money than Dean Heller, but in the final days in the cash on hand, Heller has a 3-1 advantage, or nearly 3-1. That is substantial. You probably, if you live in Nevada, saw a lot more ads from Dean Heller than you did for Jackie Rosen. That means something, at least, moving towards the finish line. Overall, though, the amount of money raised from Rosen was significantly more than that of Heller, and that goes in the direction of Rosen. We have one final thing to look at, and that is early voting. So, 554,000 in-person votes have been cast early, 71,000 absentee votes have been cast early, and 2,900 mailing precinct votes have been casted early. So, I'm going to give you a really simple breakdown of what all this comes out to. Here it is. In 2018, 41.4% of the early vote is from the Democrats. 37.9% is from the Republicans. That shows a 3.5% margin to the Democrats in 2018. And that's in the early voting forecast, all right? This is contrasted with 2016 when 42% of the vote on the early votes went to the Democrats, 36% to the Republicans. That's a 6% margin, which is 2.5% larger than the current margin. Hillary Clinton ended up winning this race by 2.4%. Now, 2.5%, this is the margin in the early voting, of course, not the entire ballot. So you can't just say if everybody votes the same on election day, then Dean Heller wins. It doesn't really work like that because you just don't have as many voters in the early vote compared to the regular vote. So it's still a slightly uphill battle for Dean Heller. It's not great that he's trailing in the early votes, but it's better than it was in 2016 for the Republicans, and Hillary Clinton only won by 2.4 points. So what does this mean? This means that I am expecting a very, very close race. Within a point and a half, maybe within even a point. But at the end of the day, my prediction is that we will see Jackie Rosen as the next senator from the state of Nevada.